Hey guys, it's me Cody, and I just wanted to touch up on a little bit on the Syria ordeal thing that's going on in the last couple months, and now I guess Putin, Russia has 150,000 troops going into Syria, and they have no head cams or anything like that. But they're saying that they're gonna go and take care of ISIS or ISIL, and ISIL and ISIS I've seen has United States Army tattoos on their arms. So what I've seen is that Syria doesn't have a Israel Federal Reserve centralized banking system, and Syria doesn't, and so Syria prints money on its own and doesn't have to get interest on it, and so they actually pay for their students to get a master's degree. They pay for all kinds of things, their country does, and so Syria wasn't going to make itself an enemy, and Israel had to take it over somehow, and so the United States and Israel teamed up and made ISIS and stuck it into Syria. And since Israel and Rome and Europe or Britain own almost all the countries in the world, China, Russia, United States, anybody else, then that's exactly what's going to be taken over. So I'm not positive that that Russia and their 150,000 troops are going to go and be sent to Syria to take care of ISIS, if they're going to be sent over there to just take care of Syrians, civilians. Once that happens and the United States catches on to this kind of game, next thing you know, the next couple months, I believe the United States will be standing up for itself against not Occupy Wall Street in a sense, almost like that. And you got some Tea Party mixture into it. You have New World Order kind of mixture into this whole game. What I see is the United States citizens standing up against, I'm going to have to say, at first we're going to be standing up against each other, because you got rich and poor, which is not treating each other right. And then you got ways the system's fucking everybody over in any way, sort of way, that we're getting mad at. So you're probably going to have the United States stand up against their own government pretty soon. You're also going to have, after that, you have to realize that the United States government is not what it portrays itself to be. There's a veil. We look at it as there being presidents and Democrats and treasuries and governors and Republican and Democrat and Libertarian, but there's a veil. There's a shadow government elite banking system that runs everything behind the scenes and have drafted all the wars and the craps of the dollars in the previous. And so what I'm really fucking pissed off is that not only at the American people, but globally, there's 8 billion of us, and I'm also very pissed off that I'm 23-year-old with my head out of the sand, and I have to stand up for the rest of the people, and so it makes it more dangerous for myself. Once this happens, and Russia takes over Syria, and everything happens over there, then the next thing you got going on is over here, because you got the New World Order taking place, and that means they're going to kill the global currency and make it into a one world currency, which is a RFID chip, computerized chip that goes in your right hand. And for me, once I realized that heaven wasn't this place after I physically died, it was a place that I go after I egoically die, and I got to experience heaven or hell right now. And I understood that death was infinite sleeping. It doesn't scare me. The mark of the beast doesn't scare me, because yeah, it's a catch-22 almost. It says that you won't go to heaven, but the thing is, if you're already in heaven, and it doesn't take too much materialized life to be in heaven, just joy and peace and righteousness and Mother Nature, pretty much, it doesn't really bother me to have some kind of a new world tracking system, because it's kind of what we need as a society. There's too many of us anyway, so to monitor all of us would be a great idea, especially with the behavior that pertains on the earth these days. A lot of the things that bother me is a lot of things were ordained, and a lot of things were pre-staged. And if it wasn't for mankind, if it wasn't for some rich, greedy men, there would have never been any world wars, and there would have never been any genocides, anything like that. Meanwhile, we have people like Hillary Clinton and stuff like that in the White House that pull genocide off in other countries all the time. And we're a catch-22 country, because we're a Christian country, but we're the biggest murderers in the world. And we're supposed to be the ones who love most, and we have so many homeless and untaken care of mental disorders going on in the world right now. We can't even snap out of the own trance that we've been put in and put ourselves into. And I don't know why that individual as myself, 23 and corning and not really anything fascinating, has to do something like this for the people, because they are too ignorant and dumbasses to do it them fucking selves, and it's really fucking bothering me because now I look like a bad person, I look like an asshole, when really I'm trying to protect you from, like, 1, wasting your life, and 2, getting your life taken away from you. So, like, now I'm mean because I gotta be mean just to pull your head out of the sand, and that's not fair to me. Because there's a life that I want to experience too. I've been stressing out too much about the people and not myself, and I lost everything. Meanwhile, gaining the spirit and the soul and the wisdom and insight to do something fascinating, to become a entrepreneur, millionaire, and change the world. But at the same time, this is exhausting, man. I'm so tired. I have no family. I have no friends. They're all backstabbing bastards. I've been by myself for 2 years now, and I'm starting to go mad insane because I see the way the world is, and I know who we are. Like, I know our higher selves. I know that I'm not an American, and I know that I'm not Cody, and I know that I'm not 23 years old. You know, I know who my highest self is, and I know who their highest self is, and so when I see, like, actors out there who don't even know themselves, I go mad berserk because it's kind of like, I don't want to tell you who you are. You have to figure it out yourself. So obviously you're who you are, but you're not acting intelligent or anything at all. And so I'm very frustrated. At the same time, that's because I'm adapting. I'm attaching myself to those energies, letting those run through my chakras, and even caring too much to the point that it is hurting me. And I'm almost to the point that I can care less that if the whole world, if all the people, if all the sinners who continue to sin and are wicked and didn't repent, I don't really care that martial law is coming in and they're going to their houses where the internet's recording them, and they're gonna get murdered. You know why? Because they're not trying. And I did care, and I do care, but it's not. I'm not gonna get used as a public example just to try to show them, like, their own mirror, you know, and how great they are. That's stupid as fuck. Somebody already got killed for it, and he said that we don't have to die because he did it. So I'm not gonna do it no more. That's their life, that's their own salvation, that's their heaven and hell, that's their eternity, and that's not mine. And somebody already came here, and there's already a book written down that gives you all the answers and secrets to almost everything, and there's plenty of information on the internet. So myself, and I am retiring from this job right now for a very long time until I can get my life together. Meanwhile, I'll also keep an eye out on what's going around me just to keep myself safe, and in case I have to be an alert, which is already, like, people already say the war's already started, everything's already here. And if you ask me, paying rent every 30 days, if it's rent or mortgage for a stupid ass house that's been paid for already, paying for DMV tags that they're monitoring you and you're paying for him to do, paying bizarre taxes that are being debt for the Revolutionary War, believing in all the lies and the illusion, watching TV and swallowing propaganda like birth control bills, selling their soul to the eye on the back of the dollar bill, hating each other, jealousy, envy, red carpeting in the whole world. Like, I need to be on some high Hollywood title type shit. Like, for myself, the reason I don't expose myself too much is because I don't want to be known. I've already seen what the world is like, man. I already got people who already hacked onto my Facebook, hacked onto my accounts, and stalked me and showed up out of other towns and other cities and harassed me and stupid shit. So I don't need no carpet ride. I don't need no entitlement. I'm doing this to change the world, to help them see clarity and truth and vision and hope in a future, and not some manifested 1% war that's been always here. No matter what it takes. But I'm really mentally and emotionally and spiritually tired because this is one man doing it for 8 billion people. Because they're too dumb to pull their heads out of their ass and realize that they're getting fucked over too many times, and they are comfortably miserable. They do not give a fuck that they live and go back to work every day, and that's all they do, and that's all they ever will do, and they always bring a certain amount of money home that pays for the bills and their food and the car insurance, and by the